Hello, and welcome to this Super Smash Bros. Special presentation. I'm Will, your Game Master, and I'm looking forward to this final presentation for the campaign. Now, since we're reaching the end of the campaign, I thought it might be fitting if we recap the events so far. And to do so, I've enlisted the help of everyone's favorite professor. Do note that in this video, what you might consider visual glitches are in fact canonical, and are just such evidence that they're between realities right now. So with that in mind, I'll count us down into the video in hexadecimal, starting from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
Oh goodness, understandably so. Oh, on the way out though, when you get on the way home, can you get some bridge dumplings for us?
Don't anything.
Oh boy. Oh, before you go. What's I doing again? Oh, right. The notes. Right. I tell you, her sweet kisses always just give me a little bit muddled. Anywho. Wait, we can't just do that! I swear! We need to either put a bell on you or a heart monitor on me! Okay. No bell! But, on that delightful note, I've actually gotten a Nobel Prize nomination for the interdimensional research you helped me with! It's a prize named after a guy named Nobel. It was supposed to be a segue, Ray. I gotta call you Ray. I meant Rayquaza. Great and powerful Rayquaza, sir. Oh, these notes? Well, I was actually just writing up my report about subspace, and I was including a report for you about those travelers you asked me to spy on, or, I mean, interdimensionally observe. Yeah, I suppose I can try to give it a real quick. Sure? I was gonna wait until they actually, made some sort of accomplishment to speak of, but I guess let's rip the Band-Aid off. Hello, and welcome to the wonderful world of subspace. My name is Professor Tim Byrne, and I'm here to make sure you're all up to date on yet another quartet of basically nomads that barely know each other and are barely qualified for the world-changing task that they're given. This time, I've been tasked to tell the tale of 4 heroes who are destined to stop an evil force that has basically declared war against the Super Smash Federation. This federation oversees the dimension that I personally have become well acquainted with, known as subspace. Well, technically it's not its own dimension, but rather it coexists both outside of and within a series of dimensions, acting as dimensional glue that binds... Okay, fine! I'll save the science part for later, I guess. That eliminates like half of my script though. You sure I can't let these share a few things about the nature of the energy that... Fine. Bridge dumplings. Just think about bridge dumplings. So, the Super Smash Federation was holding one of its usual Super Smash Bros. Competitions. These feature notable fighters from various dimensions that the Federation partners with in an ongoing tradition that basically is like if you make the Olympics interdimensional but only include one sport. Attending this fight in the audience were our 4 new heroes to be. Body Opponent Bag from the Punch-Out dimension, who is a sentient body bag we later find out was brought to life by that energy source you cut me off from explaining, thank you very much. Next up, we have Darix from the Golden Sun dimension, who is a man raised by magic monks with a knack for hurting himself, allegedly sacrificially, but more likely for the cool scars. Ham Shutter and his Pokemon Flashy from the Pokemon dimension, our home dimension hero with the potential of a Magikarp, but the confidence of a Wimpy. And Goomsha from the Mario dimension, a former cultist that didn't realize she was in a cult despite the hooded attire they had her wear, and the weird foods they had her consume, the latter of which appears to have damaged her ability to discern how practical and realistic her ideas are. I have high hopes for this team. As the four of them were watching the fight, suddenly a subspace bomb goes off in the middle of the arena, sending them and everyone else attending into subspace. Really trying hard not to explain my months of hard research on these means of interdimensional traversal I've been pouring my heart and brain into right now. Anywho, the four of them end up combating a group known as the Mii's. They are a group that originate from the Nintendo Sports dimension, and up to this point were the Federation's most trusted workforce. It's then that they also meet Professor Albert Urinka, also known as Al G, real subtle, who brings them up to speed on this betrayal, and being impressed by their combat skills and being especially desperate for some extra hands to help out, asks the elected group of scared bystanders to run potentially dangerous errands for him. Just running blindly. What's the worst that could happen? After taking them to meet Captain Falcon himself, they, for whatever reason, all agree this would be of benefit to them, and they get sent off to the Lilat system of the Star Fox dimension. Once there, our heroes ran into Harry G. Lombardi, a pun-loving birdman living in his brother's shadow. No, not literally living. It's a metaphor. No, he's not a Pokemon. He's just a furry or a feathery. Look, I do not have the mental energy, capacity, any of that right now to explain what a furry is. Okay? I'll tell you later. Anywho, together with the Birdman, our heroes stop the Mii's from their plans to resurrect Andross, who the Mii's wanted to bring back in order to stir big enough fights that could cause Smash Balls to spawn. And before you ask, no, Smash Balls are not a type of Pokeball. They're a condensed orb of Smashergy, an energy normally only found in subspace that can be used to make one's imaginations become reality. Ah, if only I could imagine some dumplings into existence right now. Right. Oh. Back on topic. Oh. So while it wasn't quite clear at the time what their motivation was for collecting Smash Balls, Professor Algae theorized that it could be an attempt to smashify someone. No, listen. Smashification occurs when one breaks too many Smash Balls without also releasing that energy, turning them into an all-powerful being, but losing one's sanity and conscience in the process. Okay? Moving on! This last occurred during a historic event referred to as the Subspace Emissary Incident, where former Federation Captain Taboo committed this taboo crime and started wreaking havoc in the multiverse. With that in mind, our heroes were then tasked to stop Mii's from farming more Smash Balls. So off they went to Elise, of the Fire Emblem Dimension. There, they met up with Ari, a young man with the heart of a dragon, because he was literally part dragon. However, an ancient evil known as Bell Dragon Gremma had attached themselves to him as a vessel, which ended up blocking his ability to fully transform into a dragon. But our heroes would discover a way to defeat Gremma using Smashergy. And instead of doing the reasonable thing of farming for and waiting for a Smash Ball to spawn, to simply, give them the Smashergy needed to defeat Gremma, Darix decided to make a deal with the literal devil of this world to take Gremma upon himself as a vessel, thinking that he'd be more capable of taking the physical damage that would be inflicted in the process of dealing with the world-ending dragon than young Ari could. Now, I don't know how dragons work in his world, but I'm pretty sure a half-dragon person would have been better suited to take the brunt of the damage than a zero-dragon person? Just saying. But what do I know? But Darix went through with his deal with the devil, trading his memories of his dear and only brother as a price, and then essentially dying. But it did work, and they still managed to fell the fell dragon. But afterwards, Darix was nowhere to be found. This was because, and this is something that not even our heroes are completely aware of, the Smashergy that was used to defeat Gremma actually sent Darix's unconscious body into subspace, where he fell to the bottom and was randomly warped into a tree, deep in the dense DK jungle. And so, our remaining heroes followed what little trail they had left across dimensions to the Mario dimension, where they not only obtained their friend Darix again, but also a sick new cart for Cam to drive them all in. Isn't that just nice? Last time I basically died, I didn't get a cart. No! I got sent into a white void, and all I got to come back with was trauma and a job telling stories to an ancient interdimensional snake. Where's my racing carts? I don't enjoy telling you stories. I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh, right. The DK jungle. In here, they also met a man named CD Kong, an entrepreneur and smooth-talking salesman of all sorts of fruit-based weaponry. It turned out CD had a recent encounter with the Miis, for they were already successfully farming for Smash Balls by having brawls with Countess Imagine Rule, sister to King K. Rule. After literally knocking some sense into her, she agreed to stop helping the Miis, and that's when she revealed to them that they'd been taking all of the Smash Balls to a stash in Hyrule. That's right, the same Hyrule the last 4 weirdos you had me follow were from. So it was off they went to the Legend of Zelda Dimension, where they met up with a younger, brattier version of Zanzi as a teenager. We already knew adult Zanzi would be a pain in the butt, but teenage Zanzi may as well be hemorrhoids in comparison. Still, she and our current heroes had a common goal: to get rid of the Miis that were taking over the Gerudo Desert. So off they went, and to their surprise, it wasn't just the Miis that were guarding the stash of Smash Balls they found, but also Ariana Grande and John Cena. From the Fortnite dimension. It's crazy! Crazy, I tell you! And I know crazy! It turns out, the Fortnitians were pulling the strings on the Miis this whole time! they took advantage of the Mii's who were going through a crisis of being displaced from their homes and used them as inside forces to take down the Super Smash Federation. Plot twist! But what does Fortnite want to do with the Smash Balls? Well, we don't quite know that yet. What we do know is that the Fortnite dimension sits outside of a protective barrier known as the Nintendo Seal of Quality. This seal was created specifically to combat troublesome dimensions like the Fortnite dimension, as their dimension keeps destroying itself and sharing their self-destructive problems with other dimensions around it. However, the only way to get through the seals with one of the great jailbreakers, such as the Dolphin and the Game Genie. Which then also begs the question on how Fortnite got their hands on this technology and what their end goal might be. And that is what our heroes are currently setting out to discover. As we speak, they are engaging with the Mii's on their home world, Woohoo Island, to find the Mii leader, Matt, and confront him about the conflict. Will they bring peace to the multiverse and end this war? Will Derek's get any more cool scars for needlessly sacrificing himself? Will Goomsha come up with any ideas actually grounded in reality? Am I finally free to go get my hands on some bridge dumplings? We'll just have to watch and find out. Wait, really? We're done? Truly? Whew! This is my longest one yet! Huh! Now, if you'll all excuse me, I have a lovely wife with some lovely bridge dumplings waiting for me. Before I go, though, to grab my notes. This. Who the shellman is Sharky Tack?
That's right, the fifth and final guest star will be Sharky Tack. You may know him as the man behind Professor Tim Burke, whose ramblings you just got to experience. The professor got his start back in our first campaign, PokeQuest, wherein he provided brief recaps at the beginning of each episode. For the next campaign, Zelda Quest, Palm Tree Tries took over the recapping role as Impa, though the professor did get to help on occasion. And now, the fan-favorite professor is back to give us weekly recaps as Sharky Tack comes aboard Super Smash Quest during the next world. But as to what character he'll actually be playing as, you'll have to wait and see. Please look forward to having Sharky Tack in the coming sessions. You might have picked up on this being our final guest star, and thus making this our final special presentation for this campaign. While this is true, we have exciting news about the campaign that will follow. Please enjoy this next video.
Alright. Development Journal Entry 4. I'm not sure if I should be starting these with this whole, which number it is, because I can see that in the file name, but all cool people do it in the shows, right? So, I don't know. I'll keep it. Anyways, Development Journal Entry 4. So I've been looking into this anomaly, right? I've been calling it the Doug Effect. Named after this particular man thing that seems to be the most prominent example of this. And the theory goes that everyone has an interdimensional counterpart, also known as an alternate universe version of themselves. But I like interdimensional counterpart better because I've yet to conclude if there's such a thing as a true origin version, so saying alternate universe is low-key presumptuous that the one being referred to is or is not the alternative, right? But, linguistics aside, I started to look into whether or not one being is the true original, and as I was doing so, I made another discovery. Something similar to DNA, but though having to do with your universe DNA of sorts. So I call it the World Engine Assignment, also known as WNA. Get it? Because it's like DNA, but W. Yeah. But anyway, so this experiment that I'm going to perform has to do with WNA mutation. Basically, I'm trying to see if I can reassign someone's world engine and if they take on the properties of that world. And I've already developed a device that I'm calling the World Engine Assignment Controller, or WECON for short. So far, the preliminary experiments have shown that objects with their WNA modified end up taking on both the aesthetic and physics properties of the target world engine. They're like virtually indistinguishable from one another. And with all that being done, I'm feeling confident enough to start experimenting on living stuff now. What could possibly go wrong?
That's right, Super Smash Quest will be getting a second season. In this next season, we'll be joining 4 entirely new player characters, with some familiar NPCs like Algae returning. The cast of players has yet to be confirmed for the new season, but expect most, if not all, of the existing Season 1 cast to carry over. We will announce the cast and their characters on a future date. As you saw, the professor was dabbling in alternative universe versions of people, or interdimensional counterparts as he called them. This new campaign will introduce a new mechanic called WNA manipulation. By swapping one's world engine, one can unlock new nuances for abilities. For example, if Body Opponent Bag, who is made of rubber in his current form, were to swap engines to the Fire Emblem world, he might be made of straw, and be able to leverage this new material to his advantage. I'm excited to see what kind of characters our players will create, and how they'll leverage this new mechanic to their advantage. In the meantime, please note that there will be a gap between these campaigns. As of now, Season 1 is on track to complete in May. Afterwards, there will be a 1-month gap between seasons, with Season 2 picking up in June. So please look forward to Super Smash Quest Season 2 in June, and continue to enjoy Season 1 as we continue to produce weekly episodes. As usual, please ensure you followed us on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Your support through various interactions on these platforms help us greatly. And if you'd like to help further, please note that we'll be doing a fundraising event to help fund the creation of art and other assets for the upcoming season. More details will be announced at a later date. Thank you for watching this presentation.